Can you recall the last time you saw a middle-aged couple this hopeless?
Timothy, I just got a second wind.
Oh, shit.
Maybe an American Beauty?
Man, I get exhausted just watching her.
I can't think of a better way to describe the Ratliffs situation than frames like these. They are, quite literally, imprisoned by their own identities, much like the book Piper is reading. Identity is a prison. No one is spared this prison, rich man or poor man, success or failure. We build a prison, lock ourselves inside, then throw away the key. All right, White Lotus fans, let's talk about the Ratliff family. Timothy Ratliff, the man on the blade tree, played by Malfoy's father. Timothy Ratliff is introduced with a striking image in the opening theme, a naked man sitting on a tree covered in blades, blissfully unaware of the imminent danger beneath him. This is Timothy Ratliff in a nutshell, a high-profile financier entangled in a growing financial scandal. He desperately tries to deny that his entire life is spiraling out of control. The tree represents Timothy's business empire, seemingly stable but built on deception. Instead of bearing fruit, its branches hold knives, a perfect metaphor for the betrayals, government investigations, and personal missteps threatening to bring him down. His character may even draw inspiration from the real-world 1MDB financial scandal, where a Western financier collaborated with Southeast Asian elites to siphon billions. Ironically, Timothy downplays his involvement, scoffing that helping Gwen set up the scheme only earned him a measly $10 million. A comment that speaks volumes about his warped sense of value. Then there's the crow, perched ominously on a branch, a harbinger of impending doom. By episode 4, it's clear that Timothy has completely lost his composure, resorting to drugs in a desperate attempt to escape. His life is unraveling, culminating in the shocking moment where he exposes himself in front of children. Timothy is spiraling toward a grim fate. The deep red background in his intro sequence further reinforces the themes of greed, power, and the inevitability of violence. By the end of episode 4, the show strongly suggests that Timothy is the one who took the gun. Could this mean he's contemplating suicide, only for things to take an unexpected turn? Next, we have Victoria, Timothy's wife, whose intro features a smoking monkey perched atop a blood-red rock. The imagery is both bizarre and telling. The monkey, lost in its own haze, is at once comical and tragic, just like Victoria. The monkey's addiction mirrors her own, as she numbs herself with pills, alcohol, and tranquilizers, all while maintaining the facade of a Southern aristocratic matriarch. Her reasons for self-medication are plenty: a failing marriage, a fractured family, and a crumbling lifestyle. She clings to an image of herself as a refined, powerful woman, yet in reality, she's just as out of control as the monkey puffing away in oblivion. The show's biting satire shines through here. Monkeys are often seen as foolish, impulsive creatures. And what is Victoria if not a self-important elite, spiraling into self-destruction while refusing to acknowledge reality? Her narrow-mindedness is on full display when she questions why her daughter studies Buddhism instead of Western theology.
Couldn't she write her thesis on her own religion? She could have interviewed the Archbishop of Canterbury.
Her attitude perfectly aligns with her overall image, a typical Southern socialite who values social status and outward etiquette, yet deep down harbors a rejection of other cultures and a rigid attachment to her own traditions. She is not overtly or maliciously racist, but rather dismisses everything she does not understand with a condescending superiority.
Actresses are all basically prostitutes, if they're lucky. Am I right?
Seriously? Piper's opening image is that of a lone figure meditating on a distant rock. She is immersed in her spiritual journey, detached from the materialism and corruption of her family. But take a closer look. She's not inside the temple depicted in the background. She remains an outsider, lingering on the edges of enlightenment. Piper embodies a familiar White Lotus archetype, the privileged Westerner treating a foreign religion as a tool for self-discovery. Her pursuit may be sincere, but is it true enlightenment or just another form of privileged escapism? The presence of a peacock and an owl in her sequence deepens this question. The peacock, a Buddhist symbol of wisdom, also represents vanity. The owl, often a sign of wisdom, can also foreshadow darkness. Meanwhile, her family views her transformation as an absurd rebellion. Piper wants to escape the Ratliff legacy, but can anyone truly outrun their own origins? Saxon, played by Terminator's son. Saxon's character closely aligns with the Buddhist concept of kama, sensual desire. He is obsessed with control, dominance, and physical pleasure. His fixation on power extends beyond mere physical desires. Saxon gossiping about his sister Piper's sex life behind her back and repeatedly forcing his brother Lochlan to drink protein shakes are both expressions of his need for control and dominance. His attachment to Atma Graha, the illusion of self-importance, means he doesn't just seek possession, he seeks submission, ensuring that others bend to his rules. His intro sequence featuring a naked woman entangled with a snake, while shadowy figures lurk in the background. The woman and the snake serve as a dual symbol of seduction and control. Saxon is used to getting what he wants, whether through charm, cringeworthy flirting, or manipulation. He's never faced real consequences, but the lurking figures suggest that his secrets won't stay buried for long. By episode 4, it's clear that Greg has noticed Saxon's moves on Chloe. The question is, what is Greg going to do about it? The voyeuristic men in the background may represent the reckoning that awaits him. I doubt it's the kind of happy ending he expects. Lochlan, the youngest Ratliff, is depicted floating in water, caught between surrender and struggle. He is the most passive member of the family, neither driven by greed nor power. But this also means he lacks direction, unlike his father, who clings to illusions of control, or Piper, who is actively figuring out her life. Lochlan simply drifts. The show hints at his complicated relationship with his identity, particularly his repressed desires. His gaze lingers too long on certain men. His interactions with Saxon carry an unsettling, almost twisted tension. His overall demeanor suggests a person weighed down by internal conflict. Whether it's self-denial or unspoken attraction, Lochlan is trapped between what he feels and what he believes he should be. He embodies the burden of familial expectations and the generational trap of privilege. Water in Buddhism represents anicca, impermanence. Everything is fluid, fleeting, and never remains the same. Lochlan appears to be in this very state, uncertain whether to conform to his family's expectations or to follow his true desires. His intro sequence suggests that he must make a choice, otherwise he will ultimately be consumed. In conclusion, each member of the Ratliff family is trapped, whether by greed, addiction, power, or the search for meaning. The White Lotus excels at using imagery to foreshadow and deconstruct its characters, and this season is no different. Timothy believes he's in control, but his empire is a death trap. Victoria maintains her illusions, but she's rotting from the inside out. Piper seeks transcendence, but can she ever truly escape privilege? Saxon thrives on control, but he's being watched. Lochlan is lost, floating without direction. That's our breakdown of the Ratliff family in The White Lotus Season 3. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more deep dives into The White Lotus. See you next time.